In this screencast, we are taking some problems based on basis and dimension of vector space and vector subspaces. So this is the first problem we are going to take for the matrices of 2 cross 2 order. So first problem states that so that the dimension of vector space V of all 2 cross 2 matrices with the real field R is 4 by giving a basis with 4 elements of V. Means we have to prove that the dimension of this matrix is 4 and we have to give the basis with 4 elements of V. So let the vector space is denoted by V equal to M 2 cross 2 R, where R denotes the set of real numbers which is responsible for supplying the elements to the elements of this vector space V. So we consider these 4 elements A1, A2, A3 and A4, in which we have taken this 1 at the first A11 place. In the second matrix, we have taken it at A12 place. In third, it is at A21, and in fourth, it is at A22. Means all the 4 unit elements are at the corners of the matrix. So for finding the dimension of matrix, or to find the basis of a matrix, basis of a vector space, we need to prove that all these 4 are linearly independent and they span the vector space V. So we consider these 4 real numbers alpha, beta, gamma, delta belonging to the set of real number R, and we make a combination of it: alpha times this matrix, beta times the second one, gamma times third, and delta times fourth, and it is equal to null matrix. But we can say that this is possible only when we take all of them equal to 0, because none of the matrix can be written in the form of other matrix. As you can see, first matrix contains the unit element at A11 place, but it is nowhere in rest of the matrices. So it is not possible to bring 1 at any of the matrices, that is remaining matrices, with the help of this one. So same argument can be given for other 3 matrices also. So it is possible only when all the 4 real numbers we have chosen must be 0, and this shows that all the elements A1, A2, A3, A4 are linearly independent, and hence we can say that these 4 elements span the vector space V. Why? This can be proved with the help of this expression, that PQRS is any arbitrary element in V which can be expressed as a linear combination of these 4 vectors. So the set of 4 vectors or 4 elements S equal to A1, A2, A3, A4 is the basis of V, and since the number of elements in this basis is 4, we can say that dimension of this matrix, space of matrices, is 4. So this completes the solution of first problem we have undertaken, and it is considered to be the most simple example. Second, the problem stated by find the basis and dimension of the subspace defined by W equal to this column matrix, 4 rows and 1 column, in which the elements are A plus B plus 2C, 2A plus 2B plus 4C plus D, B plus C plus D, and 3A plus 3C plus D, where all these A, B, C, D are the members of set of real numbers. So again, we have to find the basis of this subspace or this set W, and if we could find the fixed number of elements, then we will be able to say the dimension. So if we represent this W as a combination of these matrices, which we can always do, because a single vector can be represented in terms of multiplication of a matrix and the column matrix itself. So if I take this A, first element A, then I can write 1 because the coefficient of A is 1 in this first element, 2 in second, 0 in third, and 3 in fourth, and therefore it becomes 1, 2, 0, 3. Then we take B. The coefficient of B in this first component is 1, in second it is 2, in third it is 1, and in fourth it is 0. So that is B is absent in the fourth component. So I can write B as 1, 2, 1, 0. Third, we take C. So coefficient of C in first component is 2, second 4, third 1, and fourth 3. So it becomes C times 2, 4, 1, 3, and the last one is 0, 1, 1, 1, because in first component there is no D and the rest of the components contain D with coefficient equal to 1. So this means that the elements of this set W can be represented as a linear combination of these four vectors. So we can say that the set containing the vectors v1, v2, v3, v4 span the set W. But if we could prove these vectors to be linearly independent, then we will be able to write the dimension. So let us denote this v1 by 1, 2, 0, 3 transpose, because it is a column vector and we have written it in the form of row vector. So we must use the transpose. So v2 is 1, 2, 1, 0 transpose, v3 is 2, 4, 1, 3 transpose, v4 is 0, 1, 1, 1 transpose. But if we look at the third vector 2, 4, 1, 3, it is the sum of these two vectors, which we can verify from here: 1, 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 0 plus 1, 1, and 3 plus 0, 3. So we can say that this vector is an extra vector and this can be removed from the set of these four vectors without losing the span. So spanning set will now contain only 3 elements, because any extra element or redundant element can be dropped out of the set we have derived from the given information. But we have to verify that this v4 is not the linear combination of any other vectors. So we can see that the vector v4 is 0, 1, 1, 1. This 0 cannot be the element with the help of this in any case. If I put here 0, it will make all of them 0. If I put 0 here, it will make all of them 0. So this element cannot be obtained with the help of any of these three vectors. So we can say that v4 is not the linear combination of any of the vectors v1 or v2. So this implies that v3 is extra and hence can be dropped. So the basis becomes B equal to v1, v2, v4, and hence dimension of this W becomes 3. Here I think v4 is missing. v3 is represented by v1 plus v2 and is not a linear combination, but there is v4. v4 is not a linear combination of v1 and v2. So this completes the solution of problem number 2. We next come to problem number 3, which is related to the space of polynomials. So let R4X be the vector space consisting of all polynomials of degree 4 or less. The more emphasis is given on this 4 or less, so that we can ensure that all types of degrees of X are available in R4, which are less than or equal to 4, with real number coefficients. So whatever coefficients we are going to deal with will be real numbers only. So let W be the subspace of R4 defined by this set, where Px is a member of this R4X with conditions P1 plus P minus 1 equal to 0 and P2 plus P minus 2 equal to 0. Find the basis of subspace W and determine the dimension of W. So we can start the solution by considering the polynomial of degree 4 written in this particular form: a0 a1x plus a2x square plus a3x square plus a4x4. So the subscript on a are the coefficients of the powers of x. The power of x in this is 0. So x power 0, x raised to 1, x raised to 2, x raised to 3, and x raised to 4. Let us denote this by equation number 1, and these are all real constant. We now compute the expression according to the conditions given in the set defined by W. So if I write x equal to 1, I'll be getting a0 plus a1, a2, a3 and a4. And if I write minus 1, then alternative sign will be there. a0 minus negative a1 plus a2 minus a3 plus a4. So if I add all those, I'll be getting only 2a0, 2a2 and 2a4, because all the odd terms a1 and a3 will be cancelled because of plus and minus sign available in the equation. So similar expression can be obtained by putting x equal to 2 and x equal to minus 2 in equation number 1. We can get 2a0 plus 8a2 plus 32a4. These are the two equations we have got, and if we divide the equations by 2, we get this a0 plus a2 plus a4 equal to 0 and a0 plus a4a2 plus 16a4 equal to 0. This is, let us denote v by the equation number 2. So these conditions are now reduced to these restrictions on coefficients of polynomial members of this set W. By this mean, we can say that this set is a restricted set with these two restrictions. So let us see what happens with these in the coming time. So writing and reducing the augmented matrix corresponding to the couple of equations at 2. Whatever equations we have obtained at equation number 2, we have to collect the coefficients of those coefficients a0, a2, a4, so that we can write a 1, 1, 1 and 1, 4, 16, and right hand side is 0. So this is the augmented part of this matrix. If I apply these row transformation back to back, that is R2 minus R1 will make this matrix, 1 by 3 R2 will reduce the matrix into this form, and ultimately if I make R1 minus R2, I get the pivot elements as 1, 0 and 0, 1, and the remaining column becomes minus 4 and 5 with the right hand side equal to 0, 0. Now here we can see that the rank of matrix as the rank of coefficient matrix of these three elements is 2, and the same with the condition of augmented matrix, that is the rank of augmented matrix and this coefficient matrix are same, that is equal to 2, and hence there will be one free variable because we have 3 unknowns and rank equal to 2. The rank is 1 less than the number of unknowns, so one unknown will always be free, and let us say a4 is the free unknown out of a0, a2 and a4. So we can represent this a0 and a2 in terms of a4 with the help of this one. So this a0 will be equal to 4a4 from this equation, and a2 will be equal to minus 5 times a4, because these two will go on the right hand side and will make the values in terms of a4. So if we substitute these two values in the original element at equation number 1, px, then it becomes a1x, a3x cube and a4 with this coefficient or this expression. So while putting the values of a0 and a2 in the original element we have considered at equation number 1, we can see that the first element becomes 4a4 and the third element becomes minus 5a4, and remaining elements remain as it is. So we can combine in the ascending powers, but we can ascending subscript a1, a3 and a4. So a1 with x, a3 with x cube and a4 with remaining terms, that is 4 from here, minus 5x square from here and x4 from here. So all the terms are adjusted in these three expressions. So if we denote this first component by p1x, second by p2x and third by p3x, and we can express this px as a linear combination of a1, a3 and a4. Now if we look at these three, none of them can be represented in terms of another one. So x cannot be represented in terms of this x cube and this expression. Similarly, this cannot be represented in terms of P1 and P3 cannot be represented in terms of P3 and P2 and P1. So we can say that no combination of these three expressions can give me the 0 on the side. So in that case, all A1, A3 and A4 will have to be 0. So what happens? This shows that the subspace W is spanned by the set P1, P2 and P3, and these are linearly independent because of the reason I recently discussed, that no combination of P1, P2 and P3 gives me this 0 on the right hand side, and this is 0 only when we get C1, C3 and C4 are 0. So this is the condition for the members P1, P2 and P3 to be linearly independent. So there is no term common in these, and hence we can say that W is spanned by this set and it is the basis for it, and the number of elements in it is 3, and hence it is the dimension. So dimension of W is 3. So with this help, this particular problem, we are able to understand that the restricted sets where restrictions are in the form of linear equations, we can always use the augmented matrix and find the solution in terms of free variables. So which is helpful in deciding the linear dependence or independence of the set we have obtained so far. So this is very important example from the point of view of restrictions on elements. Next we come to the fourth problem, where we consider another problem related to 2 cross 2 matrices. So let V be the vector space of all 2 cross 2 matrices, and let W be a subset of V consisting of all 2 cross 2 skew symmetric matrices. I am emphasizing on the this word skew symmetric. So we have to prove that this subset W is a subspace of V and find the dimension of W. So in this case, we have two problems mixed in one only. First, we shall prove that this is a subspace, and second, we will find the dimension of it. So we construct the matrix because it is a skew symmetric matrix, and by definition, the elements are having the relation of this type Aij equal to minus Aj, or the transpose of this matrix is equal to minus of that matrix only. So in order to prove that this is a subspace, we have to verify three axioms or three conditions for a set to become subspace. So to prove W to be subspace, we have first claim W is non-empty, and this W we have constructed with the help of this rule 0A minus A0, because diagonal elements in any skew symmetric matrix are always 0, because an element can only be equal to its negative is the 0 only. So this is the possibility for diagonal elements to be 0, and this A12 is equal to negative of A21. So these two are of opposite sign. So this is the matrix consisting of these four elements where this A is taken from the real number. So our first claim, that is W is non-empty, can be verified by taking A equal to 0, which implies that null matrix 0 of order 2 cross 2 is a member of this W. So first condition is met out. So let us take the second one. The second condition is W is closed under addition, and this can be verified by taking U equal to this matrix and V equal to another matrix with B at the corners of A12 and A21 with opposite sign. So we have the sum of these two matrices equal to the sum of corresponding elements in these two matrices, 0 plus 0, 0, A plus B minus A minus B is minus bracket A plus B, and it is 0. So if we look at the sum of these two elements U plus V, it looks like the same phase as the elements in W are. So we can very well say that the sum of these two elements, arbitrary two elements U and V, the sum is always in W. So second condition of a set being subspace is also satisfied. And third one is the W is closed under scalar multiplication, and for that we have to consider a real number alpha, any arbitrary real number alpha, and we take the scalar multiplication alpha U. It becomes alpha into 0, 0, alpha into A, minus alpha into A, and 0. And again, if we compare it with the elements of this W, these seem to be same. So whenever there are similarity in the face of elements we consider, then they are in the set itself. So with this we can say that all the three axioms or conditions are satisfied by the elements of this set W, and hence we can say that it is a subspace of this V. So this first part we have proved, and we come to the second part. To find the dimension of W, it needs to look for a linear combination of members in W, which can represent any arbitrary member in it. So if I take the arbitrary member 0, A minus A 0, and I can represent it with the help of this combination A times matrix 0, 1, minus 1, 0. So we can see that this arbitrary A can generate so many elements which are arbitrary in it. So the single element is generating the entire set W. So we can say that this is singleton metric, a singleton set consisting of this only one element S equal to 0, 1, 1, minus 1, 0. It spans W, and hence it is the basis for the set or the subspace W, because a single element is always linearly independent. There is no matter of calling it dependent, it is always independent. So an independent element in a set constitute the basis for the set or subspace W, and hence we can say that the dimension of this set W is always equal to 1 in this particular. So these are the two practice problems to be taken up by you at your home, so as to verify what you have learned with the help of these lectures we have attended so